Next video, the paranoid world of Doomsday preppers.
Welcome back to the Papa Me channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on and sit on down because today, my friends, the end is finally here. Oh, we're talking about Doomsday. But most importantly, we're talking about the people who prep for those Doomsday. Doomsday preppers!
When survival's the goal, it's into the spider hole.
I used to watch this video on in National Geographic or whatever it was every day. It'll intro them and it'll be like a pan. It'll be like, my name's Dan. And I'm prepping for a sun flare that's going to hit southern Australia in the next few months.
Ah, another interesting facet of the world of people who are preparing for the end. People who want to be prepared for when shit hits the fan. But there's a lot of crazy
Yo, if there's a fucking apocalypse you're preparing for, which is it? I think the two that are most realistic are nuclear warfare and sun flares. Like, the zombie shit... Like, that's not going to happen, okay? Like, I'm letting you know right now, there's not going to be a fucking rabies outbreak or, like, a fucking shroom virus that enters the human body that warps people, at least not in our lifetimes, you know? That fucking makes people mindless zombies that just want to eat flesh. Like, the rapture? Why do you have to prepare for the rapture? If you're somebody that believes in the rapture, you shouldn't have to prepare for the rapture. That's telling. If you believe in the rapture and you think that you're not going to get taken to heaven, that might be, why are you preparing for the rapture? Just try and not be a sinful person.
How about monkeypox? Maybe even potentially World War III.
Bro, I broke out in hives when we were in San Diego twice. After the San Diego Zoo, I'm getting a shower, and I look down, and both of my legs are covered in hives, and then I look up, and my whole body's covered in hives. I start tweaking out. I'm like, Brooke, what's wrong with me? I have, like, I don't think I could show pictures of it, but they're like, this is like, dude, they were just all over my body, like that, but everywhere. I was like, what if I have like a virus or something?
Pretty much what I'm trying to get at is the world is going to end. We're all gonna die! I'm kidding, we're gonna be fine right now. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe by the time I post this, we're all dead. I don't know, I can't tell you. I'm not a future. Not a fortune teller. But thank God there's one group of people out there who can circumvent all of these horrible things that are happening. So today I just wanted to take a deep dive down into the rabbit hole of people who are going to survive the apocalypse. There's a group of people that are here to kind of show us the way. And of course, I'm talking about Doomsday preppers.
Here's to the end of the world.
Let's go.
I don't even understand the point of Doomsday prepping for a nuclear attack, though, unless you live somewhere where you're not immediately going to die from the blast. Like, okay, pan out a scenario. A nuclear bomb is headed towards D.C. Everyone around D.C. is dying, right? In D.C. for sure. If you live near D.C., you're probably fucking dead. I'm probably going to die, right? Like, that's how big nuclear blasts are. If they bomb, like, New York City, I'm dead, right? If it hits New York, which they would probably bomb, I'm going to die. Do you think the government would let us know? I think they'd know, like, a minute before. Like, they would intercept it. They wouldn't be able to stop it, but they'd know and, like, maybe try to take some measures to, like, make it... I think they would just let everybody die. Because it would cause more panic. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you live in, like, Idaho or South Dakota or somewhere where, you know, maybe you're not near a silo, like a nuclear silo or, like, a bunker or something, you'd be able to get somewhere if something happened. Yeah, have a nuclear bunker. But if you live in, like, New York, why have a bunker? Because by the time the nuclear bomb hits, you're dead. You're going to be like, oh, my God, what's that flashlight? And then you're like, your skin peels off of you. And you're just bones. And you're just like...
Why save 50,000 cans of corn in your cellar? Well, you never know when shit's gonna hit the fan. But preparing for disasters is not a crazy thing. I'll be honest, I think it's downright smart. I'm from the Midwest where there's tornadoes left and right. God's just sending little twisters to come greet your house and throw it into the air. And it's nice to feel like, you know what, we got a little provisions just in case something bad happens. Is there a flood? Is it my electricity?
I get that. Like, especially if you live somewhere where there's, like, hurricanes actively. Like, having something where, like, hey, we'll be fine for a few weeks. But I feel like the videos that he's going to put on in this YouTube video are just going to be people that are like, I have 7 years of being stocked up. I could live here for the rest of my life.
If anything happens, I'm gonna blow my brains out. Like if the world ends, I will not survive. Just take me, God. When something bad happens, you want to make sure that you have the right tools to be prepared. If a natural disaster strikes, like earthquakes, tornadoes, and tsunamis, you want to make sure you have the basic necessities, like food, water, flashlights, and power. There comes a separation, my friends, where you go from being
It's not a flashlight.
prepared for a lightning storm and being paranoid that the collapse of civilization is right at our doorstep. Right there, that's it. That's a leap.
I'm preparing my family for the imminent collapse of the United States economy.
Yeah, this kid's fucking prepared. I'm preparing my family for the imminent collapse of the United States economy. When all this shit hits the fan and my family needs to be running on solar power, I'm going to be defending my town with this fucking rifle right here.
Doomsday prepping became a popular movement in the mid-20th century during the Cold War, which wasn't really that cold, Nick.
It wasn't?
No. You could say that the Great Depression sparked Americans or people, probably just Americans, to hoard what they have. Who knows? It's mine. Don't touch it. Get away from it.
Yeah, like some dumbass. Like, how many people in the United States do you think still keep money under their mattress? Bro, for the love of God, don't do that. Like, I just gotta keep it in case something happens.
Have you seen the old, like, commercials where it's like, if a nuclear bomb drops, hide under your desk?
I love that.
Go sit in your fridge. That's how you're gonna be able to fucking... Oh, a 2,000-pound bomb just fell on your city? Oh, it's gonna create a crater the size of what? The size of New York City? Oh. Hide under your doorway in case your house collapses. That's the sturdiest place to be.
But my favorite one was, if there's an active school shooter, we're gonna turn off the lights and hide under our...
Oh yeah, it's like we're not there. The fucking best. Oh my God, an active school shooter? Maybe the kid that actually goes to this school think that it's a national holiday and that we're not here.
But you also have religious reasons, right? For example, the Church of the Latter-day Saints believe that the end times are nigh since the dawn of their religion. So they encourage their followers to have 3 to 12 months.
But isn't the end times the rapture? And then you're like, why are you still here? That's what I don't understand. I don't know. At that time, the dead in Christ will be raised and the living Christians will be brought up to meet the Lord. Yeah, then why do we need provisions if you're not gonna be on Earth anymore?
Months of supplies at all times. When it comes to doomsday prepping, the goal is to have enough supplies to last you a few months inside your bunker when the world goes to shit. AKA when shit hits the fan. We watched Doomsday Preppers, the show. We're going to get into that a little bit later, but that when shit hits the fan is going to be, it's part of my everyday vernacular now. I just want to say that.
When the hits the fan.
When it hits the fan.
If hits a fan.
Hey, it's gonna hit the fan sometime.
Hits the fan in 5 years, I'll probably be okay.
If you can survive in your little bunker while everyone else is fighting for resources outside, then within a few months, 90% of the population will die out, and you can emerge from your bunker as a goddamn survivor. Which we've already seen some of this, ladies and gentlemen. Does anyone remember toilet paper? Does anyone?
But then what? Right? Like the people that are like surviving a nuclear blast, like you hunker down for 6 months, you come up, it's Fallout Zone, dude. Everything's dead. Everything's dead. You live in the desert. There's still radiation. Where the fuck are you going to get more materials to live now?
The thing about being a doomsday prepper is that it is a beautiful spectrum. On one side, you have rational people. And on the other side, you have mentally deranged people. So you have rational people who are like, hey, it might storm. It'd be nice to have some Duracell batteries, some flashlights, and some water. And there's some people who are like, if you come near me, I'm going to kill you. But that's what we're trying to figure out today, dude. Which end of the spectrum are you on? So level 1, the toe dippers. Ooh, the water's cold. I just ate a pizza. I'm not going to jump in for cramps. These are people who have a case of water, some canned food, and a few rolls of toilet paper. If you went into their house, you'd probably be like, a little extra supplies. They probably go through a lot. I used to go to my friend's house. His mom used to have, I'm not even joking, used to have 150 rolls of toilet paper. She was a little...
Oh, I always have a lot of toilet paper. I always have a lot of toilet paper. Not because I'm worried, like, the fucking bomb's going to drop. But I always have a lot of toilet paper because, like, imagine the feeling when one day you're wiping your ass and you're like, I'm out of toilet paper. And you look under the sink and there's no toilet paper. And then you're like, fuck, right? Never want that to happen. So I always have fucking 15 rolls of toilet paper.
These people, the toe dippers,
I have a shelf on the top of the toilet. Well, aren't you fucking fancy?
usually have an emergency kit with candles, maybe a flashlight, a first aid supplies, you know, just in case anything happens. It's more so just being like, something bad might happen, but you know, it's an afterthought. But then we get into level 2. And level 2 is where we start getting a little shaky, all right? We call this the paranoid. These are the people who get a little further beyond preparing.
Yeah, they have a whole closet full of stuff. Dude, that is way too many jars of peanut butter. Must be for peanut butter Fridays. Niche reference. Niche reference. 4 people just got that niche reference.
And expect weeks to months long emergencies such as civil unrest and severe natural disasters. Which, let me tell you, Nick, if I was younger, I'd be like, civil unrest, what the f are you talking about? Yeah, the past 4 years, goddamn, hell, I might even be at level 2, dude. I'm a little paranoid. I've experienced so many
Not that many of you got it. You're all lying.
natural disasters anyways. Texas, the deep freeze, goddamn pipes burst everywhere, flooded the house. Unbelievable. The paranoid also believe that people are
Dude, I remember in Texas when it snowed like 3 inches and they shut down the whole state because people were getting into like car crashes and shit because they like their roads weren't meant for it and like nobody knew how to drive in the snow.
So you need to have a full stock pantry for you and your family in order to weather this storm. Once again, doesn't seem that paranoid whenever I've seen this firsthand. COVID, toilet paper, all kinds of stuff.
So you're never more than 20 feet away from a firearm in this house.
Dude, what is that shit? Chat, what are these? Morning Moose home storage? Is there food in there? Yellow dehydrated corn? Bro.
In people's homes where they stockpile non-perishable food items and emergency supplies that typically last a few months to even a couple years, which I can't even imagine we could survive for years. That has to be like your entire garage is just filled with stuff. Even like canned food.
Yeah, there's no way, dude. I remember I used to watch this and they would show like one shelf that's like full, like a pretty big shelf. But it would be like, I don't know, 200 cans of corn or like mixed vegetables and stuff. They're like, we could survive for 5 years off this. No, the fuck you couldn't. 3 meals a day, I'm eating 3 cans a day. Even if I'm rationing 2 cans a day, like that's going to give me like 3 months of food.
Like, you know how much canned food? Years? Some of the items that these preppers may have include shelf-stable foods like rice, beans, and canned food, water storage containers.
Just eating beans, dude. Fuck, man. You're alone in your fucking mom's basement because she was a Doomsday prepper. And you're not, you're playing fucking checkers or shoots and ladders just eating a cold can of baked beans. She's like, aren't you happy? Aren't you happy I prepped for this? We'll be able to leave in 6 years.
A portable stove for cooking, maybe a gun and some ammo, maybe, I doubt it, and tarps, tents, blankets, and sleeping bags. Which honestly, out of this paranoid section, doesn't feel too crazy. Doesn't feel crazy. It's the excess. Well, it's the excess, and it's also immediately jumping to the conclusion that the worst is going to happen. Or prepping as if tomorrow it's going to happen. If the pandemic happened and people did that, I'd be like, well, yeah, I mean, we're in trap. But like right now, if something happened, I don't know. Which I guess it is just hindsight, but to me, I'm just like, why don't you calm down, dude? You need years of perishables.
Yeah, and then they have to rotate the perishables because it's like, even if you have canned foods, like it'll go bad, and then you have like, okay, now the bomb didn't drop. Now you have to fucking get rid of all that shit and buy more stuff. Like now you're just wasting money.
Preppers in this category also have what is called a bug out bag. These are duffel bags that are packed with essential items that can last 48 to 72 hours and are stored in a safe place. Bug out bag. And similarly, there are get home bags that preppers have in their cars that contain enough supplies to get them safely home.
They got one Cliff Bar. They got a Cliff Bar. You know, in case I'm on a long drive home, I need that Cliff Bar to keep me to keep me satiated.
I got a pistol, a flashlight, and enough Cliff Bars to last me 6 odd.
I got a whole box of Cliff Bars in my bag, dude.
Here's the thing. I just want to say, I know I said that we labeled this level 2 paranoia. It is paranoia.
This is level 2? I thought we were already on level 3. Dude, this is not level 2. Having a bug out. You have a whole level 2 is you have a whole storage, a bug out bag, and a get home bag. That is not level 2. What the fuck is level 3?
The problem with these group of people is I bet you they talk about it a lot. Did you just see what happened on the news? And you're just like, oh, goddamn, dude. Level 2 is probably where I would still be friends with this person. But level 3, this is when I start like, I can't anymore.
Well, level 3, it's becoming their whole life.
Which level 3 we have as the survivalist, aka the LARPer. This category is for the extreme preppers who have swallowed the Doomsday pill. These are people that are preparing and sometimes even hoping for the collapse of civilization. Government
Yeah, these people want the apocalypse to happen. Like, they wish we were in The Walking Dead because of how fun it would be.
tyranny and apocalyptic events such as nuclear war, global pandemic, and even an asteroid impact. Oh, please, please, God, please hurl that rock at our Earth.
Literally preying on Earth's downfall. Just like, I hope some shit gets really bad so I can just fucking flex that I had the supplies.
Please, God! At this level of prepper, you're basically fully committed to the idea that the world—
Oh, fuck off, dude. Like, this is their whole house just full of fucking shit.
You're basically fully
Dole pineapples.
committed to the idea that the world is ending, and you are so deeply entrenched in the philosophy that this is now your identity as a person. There is even a dedicated show all about Doomsday preppers showing off—
Bro, but like your whole life was a waste if this is what you do and then the bomb doesn't drop, you know? Like, yeah, you'll be right, but now you're spending your whole life prepping for this shit. And say even something does happen, but you've been prepping since you're 30 and it happens when you're 70. You wasted 40 fucking years. You could have started the year before and you would have been fine.
the crazy lengths that people will go to prepare for this end. That's not just the end.
You have to get ready. There's no other way but to prepare. If you're gonna survive.
No longer are you
Yo, imagine meeting this guy at the bar, though. Oh, what are you drinking? My own wheat ale. I actually bring it here just to mingle with people, but I don't know what others put in their fucking drinks. You know, one day the bomb's gonna drop. And I know how to make my own liquor. I don't sell it to anybody because of how valuable it is. It takes so much time to make it. I actually have to use my own urine as the distillate. But if you ever want to try some, let me know.
know what kind of reminds me of like a cult, like a religious cult a little bit. You know what I mean? You ever see like a kid dressed up in like
Dude, growing up just thinking that the world's gonna end.
a like suit? He's like, oh God, he's an awesome God, he reigns. I'm like, that motherfucker didn't stand a chance, dude. You know what I mean? It's like, if you're old—
Well, yeah, you're not old enough to genuinely believe in it. Like, when you're fucking 5 years old, like, you could say, yeah, you're a Christian, but like, you don't know what you actually believe. You're just believing what— it's like the same thing when you believe what your parents tell you.
it just creeps me out, dude. When I see little kids and they're just like, I can't wait to go to heaven. But instead of, you know, your little cupcake factory that you were in before, now you're investing thousands of dollars into prepper-specific brands that can last years. Such as our good old friend, Jim Baker. Remember Jim Baker? Love Jim Baker's food buckets.
This is Mexican food that
30-day fiesta bucket, total of 196 servings.
real life Mexicans approve of. You know, this is not gringo food. This is good food.
The Jim Baker food bucket we will buy one day, and I will try some of his soup. $300 in the Jim Baker bucket can get you 144 meals with a guarantee.
Cheesy potato soup, oatmeal with brown sugar, pancake mix, mac and cheese, Hawaiian-style sweet and sour, potato casserole, pasta primavera. Bro, but like, if you're really thinking the survival style, why the fuck are we getting all fancy with these meals? Like, just buy shit that's gonna keep you alive.
Guaranteed shelf life of 25 years. If you purchase that—
Yo, you know how gross that would be 24 years down the line? You're eating fucking whatever his name is, Jim's fucking beans, Jim's soup in fucking 2050.
bucket, and 25 years later, you're just like, I didn't even need this thing. Well, I had all these potato soups from Jim Baker, but guess that didn't pan out. For $4,000, you can get the Defender Dozen. We gotta spend $4,000 on the Defender Dozen. It's gonna be crazy. This gives you 2,448 total servings of food for $4,000 up front. Now you're getting almost
Well, you're getting a year's worth of food.
$2,500 servings of food. Does that seem like a lot? If across you and your family,
Technically, like for a family of 6,
a family of 6,
which divide that by 6, it's about 400.
400 meals, that lasts you like a year. Not even a year. We're cut down to 2 a day. That fucking sucks. You, Jim Baker.
You get through all the shit that you've liked the most. Now you're just down to like fucking green bean casserole. It's been 2 years in the bunker and you only have broccoli Rob left. And you're like, Dad, I can't eat another one of these. Well, son, we have 556 more of them. Thank Jim for keeping you alive.
But eventually this supply will dwindle, so you're gonna have to live off the land. So you better learn how to farm your own crops, kill your own meat, and collect your own water. Else you're f***ed. So what, you got your fancy dog food, your pedigree, but you don't even know how to grow your own crops? Good luck, buddy. But let's talk about shelter. People think of doomsday preppers, they think of one thing, and it's doomsday bunkers, dude. Your little straw house that the big bad wolf can blow over isn't big enough for you and your growing supplies, and hell, your growing family. Most preppers have a room or a basement to store their supplies, but if you're a true doomsday prepper, then you have to have your own dedicated underground shelter.
Bro, how do you even get into this? Like, there had to be a moment where when they were a kid, they weren't convinced the world was just going to end. And then they, like, turned 30 and just went, oh, my God. And like, just started fucking prepping for the end. I feel like COVID probably sparked a lot of that.
These range from concrete domes to fully fledged steel bunkers. And some preppers construct their own. But if you're like me and you can't build your own.
Yo, whatever prepper built their own, they're dying. I'm saying that right now. If I was ever a doomsday prepper, I'm going to go to one of those big-ass companies and just buy those fucking fat-ass units that they sell for, like, fucking $500,000 and be like, yeah, let me get that. This dude is welding his own fucking bunker. If a nuke drops, I really don't think those fucking Walmart rivets you put into the fucking shipping container wall that you put 3 feet under the fucking ground is going to fucking hold steady, dude. I think that shit's just gonna fucking tear open like a tuna can.
I saw a Reddit post years ago about a guy making his own bunker and a man cave out of a shipping container. But the problem with the guy making it, he wouldn't have saw the criticism he got on his own post. The thing was basically a death trap. He had no air vents, so he basically was going to suffocate. And the container that he used to store pesticides. So he would have just suffocated and just been poisoned to death.
Oh, the bomb dropped. Get in. They die faster than if they just stayed outside.
All for a little man cave, which, to be fair, kind of metal. I watch the football games in the rat poison den that I like to watch my games in. Simple bunker can cost anywhere between $20,000 to $80,000.
Oh my
simple
God.
bunker. Okay, these are underground structures, typically made of steel, reinforced with concrete, that contain 1 to 2 rooms in order for you to store food, water, and other survival necessities. And there are dozens of companies throughout the world that specialize in doomsday bunkers, like the company Atlas Survival Shelters, who have prefabricated bunkers that they can install in your very own backyard. That'd be a crazy thing, man.
That one actually looked really fucking nice. Like, dude, imagine, yo, that's fucking sweet. Living there, this is underground.
Very own backyard. That'd be a crazy thing, man. In your suburban neighborhood. What's Douglas putting in his backyard? They have a wide variety of options to choose from, ranging from a simple 5x7 design to a 6,000 square foot military complex. This looks like the f***ing Fallout game. I was just wondering, because it looks like 7 families interconnected their yard with a giant metal structure system. All the people are like, I don't think it was me. Or there are even nuclear silo condos. In the state of Kansas, a
Yeah, we saw one of those where you could buy a room.
company is renovating Cold War era nuclear missile silos into
Bro, that's literally just the Fallout fucking game, though. Or the Fallout show. That's, like, so weird that's actually a thing. Where people just rent out, like, they pay for, like, they prepay for a room in case a nuke drops.
condos. It's actually kind of sick. The survival
But what makes no sense is the people that buy that shit don't live near here. So, like, say something happens, how the fuck are they getting 4,000 miles to this fucking bunker?
condo project is a luxury bunker development designed to provide safety and comfort in the event of catastrophe. Well, just because we're surviving doesn't mean we can't look good while doing it. These silos can hold up to 75 people and have over 20,000 square feet of floor space per silo. They span 200 feet underground with 15 floors. The facility has a shared pool, gym, bar and lounge, and a custom theater, a library, classrooms,
Yo, that's one thing that I couldn't do, though. If the world ended, watching any movies or television is now So sad. Like, if you're watching a movie, they're dead. That's not how society's like. If you're watching a futuristic movie, they're dead. It doesn't matter. This isn't what happened, right? Like, if you live in a nuclear apocalypse, you can't watch the show Superbad and be like, high schoolers trying to get drunk, because that's like an everyday thing that people go through. Oh, wait, no, nobody goes through that anymore because everybody's dead and high school doesn't exist because everybody got blown up by a bomb and I live 150 feet under the ground and I'm one of the only fucking people alive.
If you're interested in owning one of the spaces, the project features a few unit options. For 1.5 million buckaroos, you can buy half a floor condo. Not too bad. For only, what, $1.5 million? Chump change. Chump change.
And are they able to go stay at it now?
This gets you 900 square feet of living space, 1 or 2 beds, a kitchen, and a TV in every entry. It's a lot of TVs. You're welcome. Or for $3 million, you can get the full floor. That's about a little over 1,800 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, then a kitchen, a great room, and a dining room. But if you're like me, then you might want to go for the $4.5 million package, which can get you 3,600 square feet condo on 2 goddamn floors. You can even pay for a custom build complex ranging anywhere from 50,000 square feet to 300,000. Did you want to live in a legitimate military base factory? You okay, just making sure. You could build this out to be your own specification. You can modify.
But for what? Like, how many people are you gonna bring there? And then, yeah, you could fuck around and shit, but like, bro, it's just always in the back of your head that it's like everyone's dead. Like, there's no point in doing this. You might as well embrace, like, oh, I'm just trying to survive at this point, rather than like, oh, let's play foosball.
Even better example is the $18 million bunker house in Las Vegas, Nevada. This bad boy is 15,000 square feet, and it has
It's just a fucking house.
5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, a dance floor, yeah, a barbecue, yeah, a pool, a 4-hole golf course, 2 hot tubs, a sauna, a bar, lighting systems that can simulate sunlight and twinkly stars, artificial trees, fake rocks, and hand-painted murals simulating the outside world, a 1,000-gallon water tank, a cryogenic capsule that can hold up to 5 human heads, and 4
For when you die? Like that shit where like what, like I don't know if Walt Disney actually did it, but where you freeze your body in case they know how to bring back humans.
4 bodies. Not to mention it has cell phone reception, cable, and internet. Thank God. And you can rent the property out right now for receptions, weddings, and even dance parties. That actually does sound kind of cool. But I will say, seeing pictures of it, the outside scenery thing makes it look like you are being held captive by some murderer. It's like, let me leave. In time. I feel claustrophobic looking at it. You have food and shelter, but no way to defend it. That's why you need to stockpile guns and ammunition and learn how to fight when shit hits the fan. Like Steve H., who's preparing for the United States economy to collapse, which it will. It's going to. Better buckle up. Every Monday, he sets prepping goals for his family. And by the end of the week, everyone in the...
He's like a reverse conservative. I'm going to vote for Kamala because she's going to tank the economy and then I'll be able to get my dream come true. My dream will finally get... She going to tank the economy. I heard she's going to start a World War III. I heard if they put Killer Kamala in office, she's going to start a World War III.
He also vacuum seals his weapons to make sure no
Why?
moisture gets in. Good man, Steve. And a good tip from Steve is to place explosives around your property to ensure that no one can break your defenses, because they'll blow up. Checkmate. Steve often performs drills that simulate what it would be like to have his property invaded. These kids are going to enjoy that. Dude, sometimes you have to make sure the fam is up.
He just does random drills where he like wakes up his fucking 7-year-old kid in the middle of the night. Jimmy! The bombs have hit! Let's go! He never tells him whether or not it's a drill or not. They're invading! That's an enemy! Take him out! It's a mannequin that looks so real. You need to shoot him! Shoot him! The kid's fucking shaking and crying. He flicks the lights on. You failed the mission. You failed the fucking mission. That man would have killed our whole family, Jimmy.
But you know what? Steve is a pretty sane guy. He glued back his own tooth instead of going to the dentist. Sometimes you gotta drill your teeth in, dude. It's also important to live off the grid and away from society. That way, when the world does end, you're already far away from anyone trying to steal your precious supplies. Like Michael, for example, who fears his land will be targeted in an overpopulated world. He's like, this is the Garden of Eden. All right, and if the world's overpopulated, people are going to try to come and take my land. Michael created his own alarm system using bird calls. He said he has studied the language of the bird for 2 decades and is now passing on to.
I don't want to say, I mean, the world's population is rapidly growing, but if his fear is overpopulation in the world, he should really look up birth rates in most countries. Like, our population is growing because of immigration, not because of our birth rate. Like, the average American, I think, has like 1.6 kids, which means the population declines.
He doesn't want to have to be relying on guns and prefers to throw axes, which he made his kids practice for 7 years. He also makes them
Yeah, for 7 years. I run up on Tyler and his defenses with a fucking AK, right? Because shit's hit the fan, as they've been saying. Tyler goes, bang.
He also uses a throwing stick, claims that they're just as good as shotguns.
Hands in the air. Hands in the air now. What do you do?
Yo, I'm so sorry. That kid's getting shot in the back of the head. Yo, that kid is dying. No grown man is getting, the gun is getting flip turned, their gun snatched and kicked away from this kid right now. Gun to the back of your head. You're telling me this kid's gonna pull a fucking 180, kick me, and grab the gun out of my hands? No, dude. No, dude.
I have a feeling that girl would have gotten shot in the back of the head.
Bang! Hole through the fucking eyes. It's not like you literally can't fucking beat that.
But sometimes I believe with these doomsday preppers, as goofy as they may seem, I think that sometimes it goes a little too far. Controversial opinion. Sometimes prepping for the end can lead to tragedy. Survivalist named Peter Keller feared that the world was going to end. For 8 years, he worked on a secret bunker he dubbed Camp Keller, which could be confusing because of Helen Keller's fame. In one of his journals, he had sketches of a bunker with notes on how he wanted a laboratory space to study viruses. This is some Resident Evil shit. Then in 2012, when the bunker was
Oh, did it collapse on top of him and kill him?
complete, Peter killed his wife and 18-year-old daughter, set his house on fire in order to live in the bunker. I'm laughing because of how shocking that is, all right? That's not me
What?
laughing at the situation. That's just unhinged. Could you not have just lived in the bunker without doing that? Why
Yeah, just divorce the wife and just been like, I'm going to live in the bunker.
didn't you just live in the bunker?
He was so paranoid of like people finding him that's why he killed his
Oh, like they'd find where the bunker is.
family.
So they couldn't even tell him.
But then that's what like led people to find him.
If he just would have been like, hey, I'm divorcing you, I don't want to see the kids anymore, which is also horrible. Not as horrible as murdering them. But after several weeks of searching, Peter was found in the bunker dead with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. When he was found dead in the bunker, there were weapons and ammunition, explosive devices, bulletproof vests, 45 pounds of beans, wine-making stuff, and various of other survival essentials. And for years, he would vlog about the construction of the bunker, as well as
Dude, he probably realized that it was a fucking terrible idea.
conspire to kill his family. In one of the videos, he says, I'm getting to the point where just trying to live and pay bills and live as a civilian, go to work, it just freaks me out. It's actually more comfortable for me to think about living out here robbing banks, pharmacies, and just taking what I want for as long as I can. At least it will be exciting.
Think about living out here, robbing banks, pharmacies, just taking what I want. At least it'll be exciting.
The Diaries of a Legitimate Madman.
Wow.
A reason we bring this up at the end, I think, is because paranoia can amplify fear. But I think people fantasizing over things can become an obsession. I think a lot of people would get under the impression of like, well, why would you want something horrible to happen? When I don't think that these people want these things to happen. I think that they just believe it is going to happen. And that becomes the fantasy.
Well, they believe it's gonna happen, and then it becomes like not like a religious belief, but more so like they have faith that this will come true.
There's nothing wrong with stockpiling beans and corn, or even having something to.
Well, yeah, dude, I think step 1 and step 2 aren't even that crazy. I mean, like step 2, having the bug out bag and everything, like that's kind of whack, but it's still like you live a regular life. Like step 3 is like people that are like actually losing their minds over this shit.
Protect yourself in your house like a gun, or having a flashlight, something that gives you a bit of security. But it's when you amplify these things to such a means that once again, as affects others, or affects people around you that, you know, that you love, I mean, it becomes a dastardly, deceptive obsession that just completely over-consumes every other facet of your life, where it's the only thing you think about. That's where I think the paranoia and the doomsday prepping gets a little dicey. If the world ends, I'm sorry to say it, we're probably all fucked.
Not me.
Not Nick, because he did spend the $1.5 million and has
$1.5 million. He rented out that area. All right. That was a W video, though. Next.